I should have been angry when my son said it. Instead, I felt something colder, confirmation. He stood in the kitchen doorway, backpack slung over his shoulder, eyes sharp with a judgment he didn't bother to hide. Kids listen more than adults admit. They mimic tone better than truth. He owns your competitors, Dad. Mom said he's in another league. I didn't react. I just sipped my coffee, stirred it once, let the bitterness settle on my tongue. I'd learned, long ago, that silence is the most violent response in a house full of people who underestimate you. He left. The door clicked shut, and I let the quiet swallow me whole. There was a time my wife spoke my name like it meant something, before promotions, before new company dinners, before the sudden need to dress better, be sharper, match the room. I knew when she started hiding her phone. I knew when she stopped asking for my opinion. I knew when she said her boss believed in her potential with a softness she once reserved for me. Her boss, Rizwan, liked to introduce himself as the man who makes markets move. A polished tyrant with imported suits, half a smile, and the kind of arrogance that made insecure men worship him. My wife fell for the gravity of power. She forgot who taught her to stand upright in the first place. But betrayal isn't a stab. It's a slow press on the windpipe. I kept breathing anyway. The night everything snapped, she came home late again. Perfume too strong. Excuses too soft. We're just working overtime. My performance review is coming up. She slipped into bed without touching me. She didn't notice the faint reflection on the window, the glow of her phone lighting her face as she texted someone at 1:43 a.m. She didn't notice me awake. She never checked if I still watched her. The final proof came accidentally. A message banner flashed across her screen while she showered. Rizwan, you deserve better than someone small. Small. I almost laughed. If he thought I was small, then he never checked whose signature appeared quietly on his company's supply contracts. Whose silent investments held the reins of his competitors. Whose boardroom absence was intentional. I had built my empire quietly. Private equity, minority stake acquisitions, silent partnerships through shell companies that kept my name out of headlines. Because powerful men don't roar, they whisper. And the world shifts. I didn't confront her. Emotion is loud. Revenge requires stillness. I collected everything. Emails, texts, bank transfers, her sudden obsession with personal growth workshops that cost exactly the same as the hotel suites he preferred. I observed Rizwan too. His company, RZ Holdings, was ambitious but fragile, over-leveraged, dependent on a chain of suppliers who answered, unknowingly, to me. I hired forensic analysts. I tightened contracts. I watched him boast at conferences while I quietly bought the debt his board didn't even know they were drowning in. Every signature I placed was legal. Every move, silent. I didn't just plan to pull the rug from under him. I planned to take the whole damn floor. It started on a Monday. Rizwan entered the quarter expecting expansion. What he got was collapse. 2 suppliers revoked credit, then 3. Then a key investor, my proxy, pulled out, citing structural concerns. By Wednesday, his liquidity evaporated. By Thursday, the banks circled like vultures. By Friday, the board panicked and put the company up for acquisition, hoping for a miracle buyer. I was already waiting. My holding company made the offer, swift, clean, irresistible to a drowning corporation. They never asked who owned the holding company. Rizwan signed the papers with shaky hands, unaware that my name sat quietly behind the final document. My wife watched the news with wide eyes that night. Strange, she murmured. Mom's boss's company is being bought out. Sudden collapse. Everyone's panicking. I nodded, sipping my tea. Markets shift. She didn't notice the amusement in my voice. She was too busy messaging him. The next morning my phone buzzed. My son answering the house line. "Dad, someone wants to talk to you." He handed me the receiver. Rizwan's voice came through, broken, desperate. They just announced the new owner. Entire group. I need to confirm something." A shaky breath. "Tell me your husband's last name again," he demanded, clearly speaking to my wife nearby. Silence followed. Then a gasp, sharp enough to cut glass. She had finally put together the scattered pieces of a puzzle I'd been assembling for months. I spoke calmly. "Rizwan, you should focus on cleaning your desk. I'll have security escort you out by noon." He choked on a question. I hung up before he found the courage to ask it. My wife stared at me when I stepped into the living room. "Did you do this?" I met her eyes for the first time in months. "I don't break homes," I said quietly. "I just remove termites." She flinched. Good. Pain teaches where comfort failed. Rizwan disappeared from the industry within days. My wife stayed, but in silence, in confusion, in the realization that the man she dismissed was someone she never truly knew. I didn't take revenge to punish her. Her regret would handle that on its own. I did it because power untested grows arrogant, because betrayal needs consequence, because some lessons are only learned when the world tilts. Now, when I sip my morning coffee, the house is quiet, heavy with awareness. I am no longer small. I never was. I just finally let them see it.